Henry McClure Live. Hey, this is Tonight Show with Henry McClure Live, coming to you from the Glass Houses studio, part of the Ryan Mowinkle empire of commercial real estate, home to his State Farm business. Do you know that I have 1,083 feet just down the hallway for lease? I'm talking 1,200 a month. We're going to get it painted. Oh, and I want to thank everybody. Everybody was so nice. People came out of the woodworks. And this is such a small job. And so many professional people came out. I thank you so much. You know, the response of Facebook in a town like Topeka, a dear friend of mine said, Henry, Topeka is a Facebook town. And I believe that guy. Hey, here I'm gonna write this number down here. If you want to call in and be on the Henry McClure live show, you're welcome. We can get you in. We can put you in queue. Hey, I just got off the phone with Marshall Barber, and he's just telling me how busy he is. He's got clients. He's got a client that's actually staying in the hotel, and his client really didn't want to come on and talk about the hotel. You know, some people are camera shy. You know, I'm trying to get Bianca Bentley on McClure in Kansas City to start going live, but you know, it's not for everybody. You know, to me, it's my therapy. I love, I love you, and I'm always hey tonight. Tonight, I'm Johnny Carson having some Topo Chico water. I was drinking some liquid death water, and it's in a big white can. It looks like a Miller Lite. And I went into the barber shop, and they go, "What in the hell are you drinking? Your brother thinks you're drinking anyway, too." And I go, "Well, because I don't give a damn what my little brother says." Oh, that's bubbly. This stuff, this stuff is carbonated. I might get you might get a burp. Hey, so look, I got a phone. I got a telephone right there if you want to call in. And let's see, I'm getting more mail from the viewers, getting viewer mail. Thank you so much for writing in. Um, and this is resolution number 2014 with a dash. Let's see if this is signed. This one's signed. Uh, oh, this is everything on the sales tax. And I got to get that ballot. I need to get that ballot. I'm going to talk to my mainline sign guys. Hey, real estate people or anybody that needs a sign. I always think of real estate people first. You're my extended family. I just got a referral from a friend of mine. Just sent him a proposal. I'll start. Hopefully, if I get that agreed to, you'll see some more listings. If you were in the studio, Tyler Weibel was here the other day, and he was looking at me like he started staring at me. Like, what? Do I got something on my face? He goes, no. He goes, you've got so many deals. You need to focus. So he just like took the whiteboard, completely wiped it off, and man, I've got stuff to work on. I've never, and I'm very grateful. I'm grateful I am grateful for all the friends I have. I'm grateful for all the people that just walk up to me and kind of shake me and say, "Hey, you know, I voted for you. I like you. You know, you're a bit crazy, but man, keep going." And you know, you got to be a little bit. You got to be out there. I mean, the hey, so you know you need a haircut when your barber sees you on TV and says and is ashamed. So I got in today. Um, I got to. I got to start putting some olive oil on the, or not olive oil, coconut oil on the noggin. And so I think that would be cool is to have the ballot issue because the point about the ballot was the main thing was for the roads. And hey, here's a challenge to the research team. The original quarter-cent sales tax was supposed to sunset in 4 years. Find it. I'm going to start looking for. I mean, I should look for it, but if you find the original quarter-cent sales tax, it had a sunset provision, and somehow that thing got overruled. And I was talking to another one of the viewers today, and much like my dear friend Mike Halgan has commented that um, some of my lives are cryptic because I just assume you guys know what I'm talking about. But and sometimes you have to start over. But one thing I want you to know about the sales tax issue is that I've been involved with it from day one because I originally thought it was a great idea to have some sales tax for economic development. And I'm serious when I tell you when I moved back to Topeka, I've been a part of chambers all over the country. The some of the strongest chamber that I'd ever been involved with was definitely in Reno, Nevada. Reno, Nevada was it's the biggest little city in the world, but Reno, Nevada had more local merchants that were savvy. You savvy? But these guys, they knew the numbers. The best story I got ever about a local merchant there is Victor Valdez. We grabbed Victor Valdez out of the Hellsberg store. He opened up a kiosk. He killed it in sales, and then at the same time, uh, Hellsberg picked up like $400,000. So I'm talking about going from like 1,200,000 to 1,600,000, and Victor doing like I think it was maybe 700,000 in new volume. So you got to figure we almost brought $1,000,000 in new volume to Park Lane Mall in Reno due to the fact we pulled Victor out of Hellsberg. But in fact, I've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce's all over, but I've never seen one like the one we have here, run by the oligarchs, um, and you got to really take a look at the chamber members, the Go Topeka members, the Greater Topeka Partnership members. They're all on the same committees. They're all on their same boards. There's not a town more incestuous about everybody being a part of everybody. It's a cloistered community. And I'm the guy that wants to break up the trust, man. We got to break. I was just listening to Biden. He was acting like he wanted to break everything up. His farewell speech, going out with a 36% approval rating. Who are these 36% people? Who could ever vote for him? I mean, who could ever think about? I mean, how could you? What would be the one thing you'd be happy about? Hey, he pardoned my cousin. It only cost us, 100,000, but we got my cousin out. 8,000 pardons. That's a lot. But do I jump around? But I've been a part of the sales tax because I went out and asked people to vote for it. And so I've been a part for it. I'm guilty as charged. So I'll get this scanned. It looks like a lot of really good information. Oh, wow. Man, I love having a research department. I love you people. Hey, also, I want to say hello to Linda Falley. It was fun she had to get over to the office today. She's had some issues, and anybody that entrusts themselves with me, driving and riding with me, you're almost as brave as riding with Johnny Brown. Oh, but what else happened today? Um, I just got off the phone with Marshall, making sure that the Topeka factor was still alive and going, and working on a new listing. Talked to Jamie in the Philippines today. We've got a proposal. Hey Ted, we've got to look at his proposal for that office space. I think that would be a good thing for our media. Uh, it looks like a pretty interesting proposal. It's got some conference room space, some workroom space. Um, but I think if we get Jamie out of the house, the productivity will go up. And so I got a listing today that we're working on, and we're going to create a logo and a website for the individual. And Jamie, we're going to also hopefully bring online um, some more of those that particular client's listing. I got to fire up and go to Kansas City in the morning, meeting with uh, some people in Kansas City about some deals, and hopefully I'll get over and see Bianca Bentley on. What else? Oh, Spencer Duncan, I think is going to come into the studio. I even told him. I even said, "Hey, if you want me to, I could submit the questions." And he goes, "No, you can ask me whatever you want, but I'd like to get Spencer in here. That would be fun." I'm at, I was actually a youth group a youth group teacher with Kathy Duncan at St. David's, and used to get to listen to Tuck out sing everybody. And do you know that Robert Tuck Duncan, I think he's in charge of the lawsuit with the county over the revenue neutral and how they handled that hearing. And that was some interesting information. And it's like last night I pointed out the fact that how Earl McIntosh and the 5,400 people were just squelched, null and void. And what they did was illegal. And now the city of Topeka's in court over that. I mean, am I going to have to sue the community over? Are we going to have to sue them over the Citizens Committee? And I hope King Corbett would take a minute and consider writing a request to have Kobach. And I don't know why it has to be an elected official. Why can't a citizen ask the Attorney General to look into something? Because I think the way the county is collecting taxes is corrupt. I just don't believe in it. And why don't we have a deed in lieu of foreclosure day? I'm going to make a core request. I'm going to make a core request about to get the list of people that haven't paid property tax that didn't go to auction last year. I'm gonna also make a core request because what I want to find out is what took place in the board meeting at Go Topeka. The mayor and Kevin Cook were discussing how they discussed all this in the board meeting of Go Topeka. And this is what sickens me about the city is we've got so many non-elected officials really making the decisions of what's going on in the city. So I want to hear what transpired in the board meeting because really that's who you've got to, when Whittick was going down, remember at the energy company, Westar, there's a point where it's not the his fault. It becomes the board of directors. You've got to hold the board of directors accountable for their decisions. And if the board of directors are really of Go Topeka are deciding where $5 million goes, I mean, how self-serving to pay their own organization $2.5 million to that's what Molly says, the gum chewer. That's what she says in at the last meeting. And I swear, you look at the financials, it's $3.5 million. But so think about it. Go Topeka's board of directors is really who we now got to start holding accountable. We're going to get all their names and pictures, up here with the mayor and all. I got a really good one of Kevin Cook over there. It's a good one. Everybody gets to see that comes to the office. It's got GTP owned because these guys, this guy and Cook and you're all owned by all the political guys are owned by the Greater Topeka Partnership. And the Greater Topeka Partnership is nothing more than a political pact. So, I'm going to make a core request for the actual board meeting where they discussed giving Cody Foster and the members of the LLC that owns the AT&T building really basically what was a failed project from BioRealty Inc. And the BioRealty Inc. guy, he's such a nice guy. But, maybe I've got to just keep beating the drum, and people say don't give up, so I won't. But we've got to change who runs the city. We've got to break up downtown Topeka, visit Topeka, Go Topeka. Look, all those entities need to go out on their own. They don't need to be under the umbrella of the Greater Topeka Partnership. It's just not good. It doesn't look good. It stinks. It stinks. There's just not enough. I really would love to audit everything because it seems like really when you dig into it, when you really get focused in on one thing, you can start finding stuff. But what we do, we're looking at our phones, we're looking at TikTok, people dancing around, whatever. But we've got to investigate. But having all the eggs in one basket, it's not good. It just is not good. Well, I thank the painters that came around, and I appreciate it. I have chosen a painter, and it was pretty a simple deal. And the price was very fair. Thank you. I do want to do a live up in Ryan Mowinkle's office in the State Farm. He doesn't want to move, but financially, you don't ever fall in love with real estate. I'd rather have money. I'd rather have the income and instead of a fancy office all day long. All day long. Because when you're in this business, it's about income. It's about, at least we're paying real estate taxes. That Spencer brought up something interesting the other day about payment in lieu of taxes. And if we were going to name the Expo Center after Stormont Vail, which I don't think they have any business in the naming of naming a building's business. I mean, what about the health care? How how can you say you're a not for profit and write a huge check to the county? Is that check just to make sure that they stay not for profit? But if you're not for profit, you don't really need to advertise. Hey, and if you have an accident, the guy in the ambulance is going to take you to a hospital. Hey, whatever you do, take me to that Stormont Vale Hospital because they named the Expo Center after them, and that's where I want to go. Because can you imagine being on your deathbed? Well, that's where I want to go. Oh, we we are we are interesting people. Hey, what do I got going on here? Wonder what that's Jamie calling. What do you want to be? You want to be on a video or you want to be on a show? You there?
Oh,
You're on the Henry McClure live show. Is this off the record? Did you mean to call me, Jamie? Hello? Apparently not.
my phone's lagging, so
All right. Well, if you got anything you want to say to our audience, well, he hung up. That's okay. One thing I love about having people working for you in a different time zone, you can go 24 hours a day. And did you know that Harry Calmary used to do that? He kept a staff in Washington going 24 hours. And, he kept this was my dad's law partner. And I got to know Harry. I, you know, I'm a kid. When I say I got to know him, he'd take us to lunch or breakfast on Saturdays. Go down to, I think it was like Tommy's restaurant or something downtown. I think it was actually where the Classic Bean is. And go in there and I'd get one piece of French toast and 2 eggs sunny side up and a piece of bacon. Or maybe it was 1 egg. I don't know. I was a kid. But Harry would get us out of the office on Saturdays so Dad could get some work done. And, I come from a broken home. So, you'd go visit Dad on the weekends so Mom could go out and cat around, whatever. But Harry, Harry was one of the best. I mean, to me, probably the most famous guy I've ever met. I really wish I would have met my grandfather McClure. I love my grandfather Bentley on. Clifford taught us about duty. That's what he'd always tell me. You've got duty to your family. You got to put duty first. He was big on duty. And that's not like poo poo duty. That's like your duty. It's like my duty to my clients to make a sale or lease the building. You know what I'm saying? Hey, did I lose you? Oh, here I am. Here. You know what I'm doing? I'm going to go out to California and pick up some artwork. We're going to take Agape Village has made a deal with Mike Siegel, and we're going to open up an art gallery down at 520 in the Agape Village space. And we'll get on Art Walk. And I'm talking to Tyler about leaving the floor, get the floor cleaned up, but having an art studio. And then a place we could have veterans in to show their art, and I'd like to get a big screen TV, and then have art or have Mike do art shows. But a percentage of all the sales will go to Agape Village, and then we'll invest that into veterans projects or to people that run veterans projects that are up and going. And Benjamin Moore's the president of that, a a disabled veteran, and we've got several people on the advisory board, and we're growing that. And I need volunteers. You know, today you can donate real estate to us, and if it's under $100,000, you can take we can just use the county appraisal as and if it's something over that we've got to have an appraisal to give the tax. We're a 501c. Right now we're managed by um, Mary Thomas at the CRC while we get organized. She's a true pro. She manages, I think, over $1 million on behalf of the county, Shawnee County, and she's on the up and up, straight arrow. We just sold Agape Village just sold some land, a little lot over on Fillmore, and when you're surrounded by friends, the fun never ends. Well, thanks for tuning in. Let's see. I've been on the Tonight Show. This looks like I'm gonna go. I'll stretch it out to a half an hour. So MD, this will be a good one. Hey Bruce, if you're tuning in, I don't know if it's time yet to go down and tell him that he's sitting in my chair, because I mean it. Um, Being an elected official just takes up so much time. Like Karen Hiller is a great person to be an elected official because she's got all of the time in the world. You know, this is her life. That doesn't make her good at it, but other people, and that's why I want to consolidate the governments. We really need to bring the governments together. The sheriff is an elected, he's elected by the county, the treasurer's elected by the county. And those two people right there for sure ought to be Jetto votes. We can't, we got to stop this go Topeka nonsense. We got to engage the people of this community. So, and it comes down to Jetto votes. And the mayor's a Jetto vote. And that's why I want to throw him out of office, because I don't think he's a responsible Jetto vote. I don't think he's qualified to be voting on behalf of Jetto. And look, doesn't mean he's not I mean, he's a good guy, just chumming around. I mean, man, he lives right next to where my dad lived on the golf course of the country club. And if he's a member, he can just play down number 2 and then get around in, go get stewed at the bar, and then play down number 1. You're home. Plus, I love his swimming pool. It's in the shape of a tooth because a dentist used to live there. But I digress. So here's my take on the whole thing. The county clerk is also elected by all the voters of Shawnee County. So then at that point in time, let's say you had a mayor, and let's say the mayor in the new government is more of the economic development guy. He's the greeter. Hey, come to Topeka. He's the guy that maybe flies around and meets people. Boy, that'd be a good job for me. I know how to do that. But uh, so with the mayor or the mayor economic development guy, the uh, the sheriff, the treasurer, the county commission or the clerk, and I'm not saying that those are the right people. I'm for sure the sheriff and the treasurer because it's all about money. The treasurer needs to know where every whip stitch, where every nickel is. But we should have a street commissioner. We should have a water commissioner. We shouldn't be in this point in time boiling water in our community. But a consolidated government, because so the act that they play, and what really made me sick about Kevin Cook, the guy does offend me. He's so arrogant and smug, and I'm telling you something. I think we're gonna have to replace him because his head has swollen so much his eyes are gonna close. But and yeah, and I know that's a childish thing to say, but this dude handed me a child's book, and every time every time you go to the county commission, oh well, that's really a city thing. That's a city thing. Well, bullshit, Kevin. Your voters are inside the city limit too. You should be the guy over there um, talking in front of city council on my behalf. Hell, Vic Miller used to do it all the time. When he was a county commissioner, he'd go over and talk um, to the city. But think about it. Who he couldn't Cook couldn't do it because he's hired by the city, or he used to be. Um, so you can't keep saying, "Well, that's a county issue. That's a city issue." No, the borders of our community are Shawnee County, and let's just get that on the table. And I think what's always hurt the county, everybody lived out in the county because they don't like the way the cities run. But what we can do, this is the easiest way to do it. You could dissolve the city today and the county could run it. But you can't have 3 people doing it. You can't have 5 people doing it. You have 7 people. And you're going to mark my words, there isn't anything more important than our sheriff in Shawnee County. There isn't anything more important than our sheriff in Shawnee County, the protection. And I'm serious, you got to talk to the sheriff or you got to talk to the sheriff's department. There's a way that you can put cameras on your homes, buildings, places, and then the county can mount those cameras. So, like, if you're signed up with the county, let's say I'm signed up here. Let's say that. Well, if I called 911 from here, it knows that my phone, it will pull up the cameras at my place of business. I mean, what a better way to have the first responders looking at the crime going down. And you can also have it limited, I might have a camera in here. Hey, and maybe this shows a crime. Hey, this guy's mucking up the airwaves, calling 911. But what a better way to have the first responders. And if you've ever met Brian Hill, the last thing he wants to do is be a part of politics. I don't blame him. Not one bit. Not one bit. And, but there isn't anybody or one entity or one thing that's more important today than the sheriff of our community. Because what's happened over the last 4 years, it's a crime. We don't know who's in this country. People just coming over willy-nilly. It's a shame, man. I'm telling you, I was reading an article just a minute ago about 500,000 kids. They just disappeared. Well, I mean, are you serious? What a heartbreaking moment. But that's what happens when you get bureaucrats running your country. Boy, there's going to be some changes. There's going to be some changes, and Trump. I like Trump's people that he's got involved. Man, that attorney general, did you see her today? She didn't take any shit off Adam Schiff. Adam is that guy. That guy is such a schmuck. Adam Schiff is all what's wrong about government and why people keep sending weak people back to Washington, or why do we send them here? I know why we send them here. It's because of the oligarch funding. Here, the Chamber of Commerce should be helping guys like me get deals done, but they're making sure they put some lawyer in my way. And then they give their guy $9.2 million. We're taxing people out of their houses. And then Cody Foster, and then all this stuff with this industrial revenue bond and being tax exempt. The real taxes on that building are somewhere around, I don't know, like I think it's pretty much 128,000 or something like that, and he's paying 60,000. That's the last guy that needs to get a tax break. But here's the thing about it: we got to let the market decide. Why can't we just sober up and let the market decide what's going to happen? If Shawnee County is a safe place to live, and we have low taxes, well, that will attract people. But even the BioRealty guy goes, word's going to get out the way you treat people in this community. I go, hey, it's already out there. We have two different standards. I'm the news today. I am the news. Because I'm willing to take the very hard issues and shove them right down where they need to be heard. But I'll tell you something, the reporters that mail me all this stuff, they're you. The reporters are listening. Hey, if you want to come in the studio, I got an extra seat. I got a microphone. The Marshall Barber and the Topeka factor, some people have been asking me about that. It's like sometimes we're like Hannity and Combs. Hannity's still doing his show. But he just right now has been swamped. He had a trip up to Des Moines with his daughter. Hope that went safe. And I do enjoy having Marshall in the studio. And you know what I really like more than anything? I really like more than anything doing the real estate deals. But where it gets convoluted is the two are so far, they're so connected in this town. If we've got to stop the insanity over the traffic studies. I'm serious. You guys, we have to stop the insanity over the traffic studies. Go to 19th and Oakley. Look at it's kind of a blue house on the northeast corner. That's where I was born in 1959. Came home from Stormont Vale. They were trying to get the naming rights from my dad, but he refused. We could have gone tax free. Hey, look, this is a historical place where Henry McClure was born. Hey, he practiced for 20 years. He said, "Mom and Dad adopted 3 kids, had me." And Gage Boulevard at the time was a dirt road. 119,000 people, or a little more, under 120. I think Topeka's got 126,000. But look how big the network has grown. So there's your traffic study. We got all these roads. We've got the smallest growth. What's grown more than ever is the government. We should be shrinking government. We should be figuring out how to consolidate. Here's another one. Here's another one for the research team. What about the consolidation of parks? You know, we took the city and county and consolidated parks and recreation. Well, was it a good thing? You know, we never. Where's the economic report on that? Why don't we dig in to the economics of Parks and Rec? Is there an economy of scale? Is there? And see, going back to the Jetto and the sales tax money, the idea was to grow the population and broaden the tax base, and that didn't happen. That's that end of the report. Stop the funding, put the money into infrastructure. That's just how simple it is. And I'll vote for that. That's easy. I'll vote for consolidation. But we got to make it equitable. You know, the county hates the way the city does things. But that's why we've got to put it all together we got to get the citizens committee. You got to see who's supposed to be on that citizens committee. It's the people of the community, the people in the streets, the worker bees, not the people that sit up in the big boardrooms. Imagine the incoming chairman of Go Topeka runs the Cyrus Hotel. Who are they going to vote for? Okay. I went past my half an hour show. Hey, today's sponsor was Henry McClure of McClure Real Estate LLC. I now have 45 years of brokerage experience. No, actually, I have brokerage experience from the year 2000. I've got real estate experience since 1979, and the majority of my career, starting in 1983, is really commercial real estate. Started off in the shopping center industry with a firm called the Macerich Company. So today's show, the sponsors is Henry McClure of McClure Real Estate, and I'd like to thank the efforts of that company. All right, you guys have a good night. And if nobody's told you they love you, I do. I love you. Thank you.